Hi, my name is Maria Gomez. I am a board certified behavior analyst. I am Javier's sister, and although I haven't had a chance to work with him, I've had a chance to grow with him and see through all of his accomplishment across the years. One trait that I believe he possesses to be a really good leader is that he's resilient. He has been able to adapt through so many changes in life, and a good leader is able to do that. It becomes a role model for other employees as well. Another trait that I believe makes my brother a good leader is that he's very passionate about what he does. And when a person is passionate, it allows him to be able to stay engaged and don't forget about what they're doing. One area that I would say that he needs to work on would be to be a little open-minded and to have patience, to know that results don't happen overnight and that he cannot close himself to new ideas. Other than that, I think
Hi,
it's great.
my name is Adriana Brackenberry, and I am the owner-operator of 3J Cattle LLC in Caliente, Nevada. My brother, Javier, is a great person, and I have not worked with him, but I've known him for 34 years. He has great things about being a leader. One of the things I believe he has the most is that he is very passionate about what he believes, and he bases all of his decisions, regardless of what situation he's in, on his research, data, or any other information he may collect from all kinds of sources. He loves to read about things, again, that he's passionate about, and as that could be such a great attribute to him, I think that sometimes it may not let him see what's outside of that box, and it may impede him from seeing other options that may be available or some new developments that may not have research or may not have too much information on, and he may not feel comfortable about making decisions that don't have basis. And so I hope this helps you guys, and he is a great guy and super smart. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Francisco James. I work for Siemens, and Javier is my cousin. I've known Javier for around 35 years. He's a great guy, very professional, and a great person overall. Javier has always displayed very good leadership techniques since he was a young guy. He's always has been really competitive. He determines himself to always be the best at what he's doing, and he won't let go until he gets to that point. So that always have impressed me about Javier, his determination to get things done and complete what he's really into it. As far as deltas or things that I would like to see Javier worked on will be better organizational skills. I mean, especially when you're going to be a leader and a professional, being organized it's a great thing, and it will help you in many different aspects, and also to learn how to communicate professionally, how to tell that message, and convey that information to others in a professional manner. It's another point that I would like to see Javier improve on.
Hello, my name is Desiree Ortiz. I'm a business intelligence consultant at Allianz Partners, and I met Javier at college. So besides being very good at maths and physics, Javier was also very generous, and I remember him being very proactive and also having a very high team spirit. We would gather at his place to study, and he would always share his knowledge without any conditions with all the team. So this made him a very good leader and also a very good friend. Also, I remember he was a bit impatient, so this is something I would recommend him to improve or to work on. and to always remember that teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you and bon chance.
Hi, my name is Jesse Torres, and I work in international business development for Bell Helicopter. I've known Javier for several years. We've met in college, and we've been friends since then. I would say his leadership strengths would be he's a naturally smart guy, so he gets things very easily. He's also a guy you would want on your team because he will complete the task. And if he doesn't know the answer, because of his work ethic and how smart he is, he'll get the job done. As far as things he can improve on is perhaps if he's working a very complex task and there's a stringent timeline, is kind of handling that pressure and breaking down that issue or that task and maybe into steps to get him there and to relieve some of that pressure for him so he can deal with it.
Hello, my name is Elismar Engel, and I am a senior manager at Fresh Direct in the planning analysis team. And Fresh Direct is an online grocer out here in New York City. I've known Javi for about 10 to 15 years. I met him in college. And mainly, I would say, from his leadership standpoint, I would say Javi is a really goal-oriented person. And he, in terms of where would I recommend him to improve or to look on, would be on working on his patience, his ability to inspire others, and to get them to buy into his objectives and his targets. And in order to achieve his goals, and delegation and empowerment, I think is very important as well. Javi is a doer. He's totally a doer. So I would say just working through others to get what he wants done. Thank you.
My name is Taylor Scoggins, and I am an industrial engineer, and I currently work with Javier, and we have worked together for the last 3 years. I would say that a leadership characteristic that he has is the ability to engage with other people at any level. So whether it's an entry-level engineer, a mechanic on the floor, or a director, he has the ability to just work and speak to all of them with such ease. I would say something that he needs to work on would be his patience. It's okay to sit back and listen to others, Javier. Just take your time, hear what others have to say, and that's it.
My name is Clara Moon, and I'm an industrial engineer at Lockheed Martin. I've been working with Javier for the past 2 years. As a good leadership characteristic, Javier has a great vision. He understands the business needs and attributes that are lacking to the current situation. He always tries to think ahead using industrial engineering tools and theories to better help make business decisions. If I have to pick one characteristic that Javier can improve, it will be active listening. I believe that he can pay a little closer attention to individuals, then it will make him a much better.
Hi, my name is Isaac Brown. I'm a U.S. Army Staff Sergeant working as a detail recruiter in Denver. My normal job is a generator mechanic. I met Javier Prieto in late 2011, early 2012, when we were deployed to Afghanistan together. Javier was a 91 Juliet pump mechanic serving in the United States Army. His main job was to maintain pump equipment. He worked on both fuel and water pumps. He shows great leadership capabilities. He is always taking charge when he has a task to complete, and he can outsource and resource very effectively. Javier is an outstanding person and can take on any task at hand. I believe that Javier has to use time management more effectively. This is one of the leadership skills that he is lacking in just a tiny bit. He may second guess his decisions a little bit too much, and that takes up some of the time to find a solution for the problem. If Javier can master this part, he will be a very, very effective leader in any sense. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I've known Javier for several years, but it wasn't until about a year ago when we actually had the opportunity to work on a project together. So I got to know him a little better. From a leadership perspective, I noticed that Javier is very driven by data. He likes to let the data tell the story. He makes decisions based on what the data tells him and uses it to persuade people to get on board with the different efforts that he focuses his energy on. So again, I think that's a very good quality to have. The improvement that I would challenge Javier to work on is tailoring that data and being able to present it to the different levels of management in a way that they like to consume the data. So making sure that he's looking at, who's going to be in the room and what they care about so that he is able to actually sell his product and be successful. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jay Evans, United States Army Master Sergeant retired. I managed Javier from 2011 to 2013. His leadership characteristics were he was level-headed, he was calm under pressure, and intelligent. At that time, I would say what he needed to work on to be a better leader would have been influencing others.
Hello, my name is Ryan Withers. I'm a Chief Warrant Officer 2 in the United States Army. My experience with Javier Prieto dates back to 2012 to 2013 when we were deployed in Afghanistan. And Javier's leadership qualities is when we were putting him on a lot of missions, dealing with building pumps and putting water, giving water to the soldiers around Afghanistan. He had great leadership qualities in figuring out how to put the dynamics together, how to actually fix the pumps, how to actually get the water source from one spot to another, and how to make sure that each soldier had water, they had electricity, and had the fundamentals they needed to accomplish their mission. He had great leadership qualities in teaching other soldiers how to actually get the dynamics to get the water to pump from pump A to pump B, and to actually get the electricity to flow and build a correct power grid. The stuff I would challenge Javier on is when stuff tends to get a little bit challenging, he tends to stress a lot and tends to actually think things too much. He likes to try to second guess himself sometime, and what I would say is what he would do best is if he gets his answer the first time, go with that, because he's a very intelligent young man and he has great qualities among himself, and I think he does outstanding work. Thanks.
James Martin, the COO at Voluntary Purchasing Groups. Had the pleasure of working with Javier approximately 4 years ago. He was an engineer out here, and from a leadership characteristic standpoint, he was very focused on finding new things to improve, very aggressively. And from what would I have him improve upon, it's a tough one for him. He was a great guy. Probably controlling that aggressiveness and being focused on the problem at hand and selling his ideas. That's about it.
Hey, this is Blair Geismer, and I'm Javier's current manager, industrial engineering at Lockheed Martin, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts with you. So strengths, Javier's got all sorts of strengths. First, his work ethic is unmatched. Second, his will and his ability to use logic and data to mine out great ideas through observations is another one. Javier's the kind of guy that it takes him a little while to formulate his opinion, but once he does, he's almost always right. And it's just a matter of time before all the stakeholders that he's trying to influence realize that he's right. He's very persistent once he gets his mind made up that there's something that needs to be improved. And that's what he loves to do, is continuously improve processes. So he's a fantastic teammate. He loves to share his knowledge. He has a knack for seeking out people that have skills that he wants, and then he partners with them well. On the other hand, some of the opportunities I think are all just centered around soft skills. Speaking clearly, he's so detail oriented. One of the challenges that he has is he wants to teach everybody from the ground up, and that's really difficult to do when he's at the manager, senior manager, director level. So that's one of the things I would encourage him to do is when he's building presentations, you have to gear your data and the way that you communicate to the appropriate level. The higher you go in leadership, the quicker you got to give them the bullet, and then you let them ask questions, and from there you can go, from one chart to the next, and it's more impressive because then it looks like you're just have already anticipated all of their questions. I think the rest of it is just associated with political savviness. Got to know how to read body language, how to take those sorts of cues. Another thing is his mind's always moving so quickly. When he's having a conversation with somebody, if they're sharing something with him and he doesn't necessarily agree with what they're saying, sometimes he has a tendency to use his body language and shake his head, or sometimes he'll just say no, and they won't let them finish their thought, which creates tension, and sometimes a weaker person will shut down and get defensive. So you always got to be an active listener, and then have empathy and look for what's in it for them in order to sell. So those are some of my thoughts. Talk to you later.
Hi, my name is Jaime Miranda. I work for Lockheed Martin. Javier is my lead. One of Javier's strengths is that he's always a good role model. He's a go-getter and he understands my strength. So when tasks come at hand, he understands who the right person is for each job. I would encourage Javier to improve his communication skills, to listen to us a little more when times of stress come at hand. But besides that, he's a really good guy. Thank you.
My name is Anthony. I work with Javier at Lockheed Martin. We've been working together for the past 4 or 5 months. I am also an industrial engineer. One of the qualities that Javier has that makes him a good leader, I guess, would be that he is very committed to his work. He is very dedicated to finding and improving current processes in a way that ideally would help everyone. He's also pretty friendly, and I think that's important for people to be able to come to someone who's approachable for questions or any kind of work-related material. So Javier is my sub-lead, and one of the things I think he could improve in becoming a leader would be to be more assertive, I guess. And by that I mean to stand up more for what he thinks or believes, and make better, suggestions or comments based off of what he wants to say, what he thinks, as opposed to what other people would want. One of the other things I think he could do to improve as a leader is to, improve communication. For example, any kind of downstream communication from the lead to the sub-lead to everyone else that he is in charge of. I think that's pretty important, especially when you look at a team as an organization, that it needs strong, clear communication as well as organization in order to, perform as a team ideally should perform. So.